Hi everyone, as Lauren mentioned, I'm at Rockefeller University, and just a little bit of information about the place for context is that we are not an undergraduate serving institution. We only grant PhDs and MD PhDs, so it's a much smaller campus and it's completely science focused. Also for reference, we have about 300 PhD students and about 300 postdocs. Those numbers probably a little off because I never remember the exact number. But just for context, we're not talking about a lot of people. So when I show my numbers, I hope you'll be impressed. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the research programs that we run, and this is per year. If you would like to see more details about it, you can access it through that QR code. It'll bring you to our homepage. So we have a program called Jumpstart, and this is a skills building program for high school students attending school in New York City with a target of students who have never had research experience. Usually we are able to recruit lots of students from socioeconomic situations that are sort of underserved, and then also students who are historically underrepresented in STEM. The Summer Science Research Program is a 7-week program that happens during the summer. The Jumpstart students join that program along with other students who are coming in from all over the world. So it actually becomes a global program. And we also have something called the Lulu Wang Scholars, which is a program where college students come work with postdocs and graduate students to test a research curriculum that we then offer to Hunter College students. This is one of our public schools adjacent to Rockefeller. They take this for credit, and the idea here is that this course, which is collaboratively produced by undergrads and scientists, will help reduce the skills gap for internship readiness. And so we are, in each program, we have all sorts of people. This isn't just, we don't do the one-to-one apprenticeship model. We've tossed that away because it's just inconsistent and it's not that great. And so we do all team-based. So in every program, we're working with high school students, undergraduates, alumni, near-peer mentors, graduate students, scientist advocates, postdocs, and in some cases, high school teachers. And we all work together to build this thing. And so our mentorship ecosystem model, it really takes into consideration the definition of ecosystem. A biological community that's interactive, it's complex, it's messy, and we lean into that messiness, but overall it's an interconnected system. And so this, instead of just sort of listing our programs, this is more what our programs look like, where you have lots and lots of people sort of circulating the programs, the programs are intermixing with each other, and that is all sort of facilitated by my team. And so our programs have been going on for a really long time, and at this point we've been able to gain a lot of support in the university. We're supported by all PIs at Rockefeller. If someone tries to cold call and say, hey, we know each other from college, can you take my son? Our PIs are like, no, because you have to go through the merit-based system that we have in place. We also have graduate and postdocs and grad students who are super eager to participate. And our graduate students are getting into basically, Rockefeller has really high, it's really hard to get into. So if you've gotten into Rockefeller, it's likely you've also gotten into Harvard, Caltech, or whatever, right? And we've heard anecdotally that our graduate students choose Rockefeller because of RockEDU, because we have a robust outreach system. And we're also celebrated by our leadership. My boss is the dean and vice president and basically is like, yes, do it for everything that we do. So we don't have a lot of barriers. And I realize that this is a ridiculously privileged situation. So I do want to put that out there. And so a couple of pieces of feedback from our student mentees. These are the high school students and the undergrads who have participated. And this is just from 2024. They said that 24 responses out of the responses that we received said that we created a warm and supportive environment for them. And they felt accepted, they felt safe, and they felt able to just be who they are. They also felt that our program management was really flexible, that we are accommodating, and we just made it happen for students at where they were. It doesn't matter if they came in with 0. It doesn't matter if we have to teach them what DNA is, you know? So we're there for them. And we also work really hard at effective communication of the expectations, listening to people. So communication is also listening. We're listening to our students and making sure that we can responsibly act on any issues that arise or find a way to help them if we can't do that ourselves. And so all of our students are very comfortable or pretty comfortable with us, and we see them for years and years afterwards, actually. And so from our mentors, 100% of our 2024 mentors, and we had a really large cohort of mentors, they said, and when I'm into the Tri-I, we actually serve not just Rockefeller scientists, we also serve, there's three of us that sort of are on four corners. It's Memorial Sloan Kettering, Weill Cornell, and Rockefeller. So those scientists come to us because they have limited outreach programs as well. So they'll come to us and participate. And so they expected to gain things like pedagogy, design of courses, training and mentorship, and things like that. But what they really got was more fulfilling, and it exceeded their expectations. They had a lot more growth. They were able to do a lot more collaboration, and the impact on themselves personally and professionally were much higher than they anticipated. We give a lot of autonomy because if you are to get trust from someone, you have to give trust to them first, and I will die on that hill. And so therefore they got more trust in crafting the experience, which sometimes is really different for graduate students and postdocs who are used to their PIs potentially micromanaging their work. And so, we show, this is the diagram that we offer to our community when we're recruiting, and what we found is we hit almost all of the things that we promised them. And of course, I'm not showing the negative data. We don't have that much time, but if you want to know the negative data, I'm happy to show. There are things that we can do for improving, but I think overall we're doing a really nice job. So how did we get here? And I think that's the thing that I want to talk about today. I want to point out that I'm using a constellation here because, again, this is not about like one person or a student and a scientist. We really, really lean into this idea that mentorship is a constellation. And our mission is to support students, educators, trainees, scientists. We want to help them build technical and professional skills so that they feel confident in those spaces, they make impactful STEM community connections, and they can move ahead with the skills that they need to be successful, whatever that looks like. We are not interested in necessarily making an army of scientists, but we do really want people to have an appreciation for the scientific process and take that with them wherever they go. And so to do that, we have three major arms of our program. We work through community development, which offers evidence-based community management practice, and I think community management is a role that really needs to expand in scientific spaces. I think is really important. We do a lot of impact leadership, which I'll just define as making sure that we're offering the structures and scaffolds so that we can be socially responsible actors ourselves and help make sure that there's accountability built into our community. And we also are known for our research education, which essentially offers inclusive mentorship practice through multiple angles. For time, I'm just going to focus on two areas, research education and community development. So in our research education, we take the approach where we don't look at just the person. We look at that person inside of their lab because they're working on a team, right? But that lab also exists on a campus, which exists in a local community, which exists in a society, and all of that is informed by socio-histories, right? So we have to think about these nested and recursive relationships across the span of science. Oh my God, this is so fast. Okay, and so when we do research education, we don't just think, so we do a dual approach where we work to help cultivate inclusive mentorship skills, but also pedagogical models that are accessible to the mentees themselves. And so we feel that when you can have a good project design and a really good mentorship practice, then it's much higher success rates for people. And Okay, and so before our scientist mentors actually work with our student mentees, they have to go through a fellows program. We don't let any scientist just come in and go mentor. They actually have to be trained, right? And in that training, they're getting professional development skills that are often missing in your scientific training environments. And by that, we are able to create inclusive environments for high school and college students to explore authentic scientific research, and that leads to both successes for both the mentor and the mentee. And so ensuring that this ecosystem is sustained requires a lot of work across the year within our scientific community. So we do pure inreach. So I have a dedicated community manager that works specifically inside the Rockefeller community to make sure that our relationships are constantly being built and sustained. So if we look at our little nested and recursive sets of circles, and we focus in on the community development. We're talking grad students, postdoc, research assistants, the staff. I mean, staff could be custodial, catering, administrative staff, as well as research faculty and the PIs. And we think about that across both the individual and the community context. And so our community manager runs a program called Building Interactive Opportunities for Mentorship, Education, or BIOME. And this is our year-long learning community that supports our scientists and staff through programs, events, and resources. And these are bespoke. We work with the sub-communities at Rockefeller to ask, what do you want? What do you need? What is missing? And then we collaborate with those communities to build that thing. So we always ask, how can we support the people? Because it's people first. Always people first, science second. And so, yeah, so we create a lot of resources for them through these sub-communities, tools for mentoring, curated resources, and ensure that collaborations can be created. And so what are the outcomes, right? So for New York City students and teachers, they're getting exposure to authentic science in fun and meaningful ways. Our program is very fun. I'm telling you, it's very fun. Graduate students, I think I'm like, manifesting what I wanted my teenage years to look like through this program. Graduates and students and postdocs get like teaching, mentoring, professional skills, leadership skills. We even do practice grant writing, chalk talks, things like that. PIs, they don't need to reinvent things when it comes to broader impacts in their NSF grants or other kinds of funding opportunities that they might want to go for where this kind of thing is a critical component. And our university is gaining notoriety. When I first joined Rockefeller, people were like, oh, does the Rockefeller Christmas tree get in the way when you're trying to get to work? And if you don't know that, my campus is like 17 blocks away from the Christmas tree, then you would think it was the same community, but it is not. I don't know if that reference actually went anywhere in this group, I realize. Apologies. Know your audience. Okay, so I just want to give credit to my team. We are a group of 7. We all have a very specific role, but we all do a lot of overlap. I love them. They are my family in addition to my real family, and it's a pleasure to work with them on a daily basis. It is so amazing to be with people you actually love. And I think I did it. Okay, thank you.